welcome to another episode 75. And today we're going to work on our Egyptian-inspired area. Okay, so we have our castle thing, and we have the base for our city walls with a moat that runs all the way around. But we need to build up the main wall. And what I have been doing is I've gone through and dug out all the sand and sandstone inside the walls because we're going to need a lot of it, and as such I figured rather than having to ruin the landscape that we've already spent hundreds of hours terraforming to be pretty, I'd take all the sandstone from the walls and store it so that we have a lot of sandstone and sand. Okay, and I also planted some of these here because I didn't know if they grew automatically or if they had to be grown. So I planted them here while I did the digging, and they haven't grown, so that's great. And here we are working on some smooth sandstone. Because we're going to need a lot of it, so we're smelting up a lot of it. Here is our sandstone and sand storage area. We have this much smooth sandstone, not much of that, but so this is sand. So this first row is full, the second is full, the third is full, so that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 double chests with hoppers full on each row, and here this much. So that's what? 15 plus hoppers, so maybe 16 double chests of sand. Here is sandstone. Okay. So we have a lot more sandstone. We have I don't know, 20-ish double chests, so that should last one. I built a few new machines to help us in the construction of our city here. This is our old smelter, and it's getting more and more unreliable. So I decided to retire it and make a new one. So the new one has input here, we have fuel there, and here is the output. These are temporary for storage of material for our wall. Well, not wall, but a city. And if we go down here, we can see the smelter itself. The inputs and stuff up there are just so that we can use it without having to go down here. And here it is, it's very simple. It's 14 furnaces, 7 per side, and we have these minecarts that spread the materials and the fuels out. So it's very simple. It's just hoppers, drops out up to these. They pick up 7 items. That's I measured, like, if it travels this fast, how many items does it get? 7. Okay, so 7 furnaces. And behind is the same thing for fuel. And we have just access down here in case something clogs up the system or something. We can access and clean it out. And then everything gets funneled into that dropper, which shoots it out. it gets sent up and put into those chests there. So that's first chest. There's another chest up there. And yeah, those are the chests we can access from up here. And yes, then I ran into the problem. I ran out of fuel, so I made two machines to solve that problem. Here we have the charcoal maker. We put in wood logs here. They get burned by charcoal, and they get sent in there, which gets sent over a hopper back there. So if we can, yep. So we have 4 filler items and charcoal. So every 8th charcoal this makes goes into here to create more fuel to burn the logs, and the rest gets sent over here. So we never have to refill the fuel in this machine. We just put in logs and we get charcoal. So that's one of our new fuels here. And if we go over here, we have another new machine. And it's a bigger kelp farm. Because we have a very small one that was enough fuel before, but now that we've had to smelt such large quantities of sandstone to get the smooth sandstone for our city, we needed more fuel, and as such I made a bigger kelp farm. So yes, it's very simple. The kelp grows when one of the observers is triggered. We have double piston extenders that go 2 blocks out and harvest that section. I have currently connected so that we have 1, 2, 3, 4. This is one section, so that's 10 blocks wide and 2 blocks deep. Like so. It flows up. And then it's sent over through some water lines and we get here. Now there is a slight problem. I don't know if you can see, but there are some kelp stuck down there, and that is because when these pistons push out, they cover, like, especially it's not so much of a problem when it's going on its own, because then usually you don't have many sections going off at the same time. When we do the manual harvest, we get rid of all what's it called, source blocks on that second layer, which means that the kelp struggles to get past it because the water is flowing down right there. But usually the kelp will grow before the items despawn, and if they don't, it's not that big of a deal. It's not that much loss, and as I said, it's basically only when you do the manual harvest, because otherwise, like if this section triggers, then that section and that section will just make it, like, fill it in with source blocks, right? So it would only be a problem if either the two right next to each other triggers at the same time, or the two opposite to each other triggers at the exact same time. That would cause the same problem, but yeah, it shouldn't happen too often. This is our old manual kelp farm that we showed up a long time ago. like so. And then wait, and it comes down from the top. And yes, I think that's all of it. Yeah, that's all the new machines. Let's have a look at the progress on the wall so far. Okay, it's daytime, that's great, and we don't have to worry about monsters. So as you can see, quite a lot of progress has been made on the wall. All the way around, it's built up to the same height. And we are currently working on putting in the second floor, and after that we'll do the crenellations and the parapet, and that is the wall done. And here we have the main gatehouse. That's not how that's supposed to be. There we go. And yeah, a big gatehouse. I haven't put in the stairs here yet, but you can enter it as well and access more arrow slits and defensives, murder holes, that sort of thing. And front. Yes. Then, after the main wall is done, we need to do the small secondary wall, which is this little wall that will go all the way around as well. And then the wall is done, but that's still quite a lot of work. I decided to update our hoglin farm a bit because we had some issues. Where we are now, so 221, at the very top of the nether there can still spawn enemies. So I did two things to help with this. I did this. So this basically takes us up to the height limit. So now we're as high up as we can be, and here we're far enough away for things to spawn. And that will cause all the mobs down below the bedrock to instantly despawn. And that stuff is a mode that will kill the piglins automatically, so that we don't have to kill them ourselves. It means no looting, but we can AFK. And it's not for the AFK per se, it's so that we can be up there, which would make the only places that enemies could spawn would be in this farm. And if they then would die automatically, we could just stay up there. Here we are in spectator mode. As you can see, I have placed a lot of buttons here. We are right under it. However, as you can see, there is more to be done because they can still spawn along here. So this and over here, and I will need to fix that. Because that obviously messes with the efficiency of our farm up here. Okay, I made this place a little bit prettier and our auto switch is now functioning. And yeah, okay. So let's go outside and I'll show you what it does. So when this is set to auto, like so, it activates this hopper clock, which is for about 2.5 minutes or so. And it also extends these double piston extenders with magma blocks on top and in front. So wherever they land now, they will land on magma blocks. Every 2.5 minutes, this block comes over here and this gets triggered. And this is a edge detector, so this will be locked and will only trigger this line briefly, which will turn this off briefly, which will make these get pulled in and then extended again. Because the problem is that items can't be picked up right now, so we have to pull these blocks in and then pull them forward to let the item fall down on the hoppers and get collected. Okay. It's a falling edge detector, so it will trigger when the block moves back. And there it was. And now we go over here. That is where I guess this is. Oh, no. How did it happen? This I saw, but other than that, everything has been collected. I forgot to mention, but I've also lit up and placed buttons on the other areas under the bedrock that should be affected. So in theory, we should have no mobs spawning under us now. In theory, our hoglin farm has been quite productive. It annoyed me how it took a while for the source blocks to regenerate after you harvested. So I decided to stagger these a bit to help the blocks, the source blocks, fill out that level again. And it seems to work. Things don't really get stuck except in the honey blocks, but that's because the honey blocks are technically smaller than a block and they are stuck on the edge under the furnace, and I don't think there's much we can do about that other than triggering it again and just push them out. Should work. Yeah. And all the kelp is now flowing up and we don't have the problem of things getting stuck on that level. As the main wall was almost finished, I realized I had made a mistake. All these outer sections like there, are supposed to be 1 block taller like here. And I've built it up to this level all the way around. So that was frustrating, and I have started tearing it down, and as you can see here, I turn it down and built it up this way, to this height properly now, around here and all the way to this corner, I think. Yeah. And now I need to finish building this up to the way it was before. We need the arrow slits and the chisels on top, all the way there, and then I have to do the other half of the wall, which is quite a lot to do. Costly mistake. I really don't want to finish this episode without finishing this wall. So that is what we're gonna do. We're gonna make sure that this wall is finished in this episode. Hopefully it shouldn't take too much longer. Most of the hard work is already done. And I just finished building these two sides up to the level they were before I tore them down. So we're back where we started on these sides. Now I just have to do the rest. While I am fixing my embarrassing mistake of building a lot of this wall one block off, let's talk about our plans. So, the plan is still the same as it was 3 years ago. And that is to have a world tour when we reach episode 100. I just did not expect it to take this long. But that's my fault for spending way too much time on each episode. But yes, we are going to get there by episode 100. After that we might do on every 50 episode. We'll see how long it takes rather to get to episode 150. And for this world tour, there are a few things I want to do. I want to finish this city we're at, which includes the wall, obviously, the temple here, the city inside here, which will be the rich residential area. Oops. Then on that way there is going to be multiple pyramids that way. There's also going to be another temple similar to this but bigger, and there's going to be a poor residential area from about there all the way around to there. And we're going to make the area around the city a lot prettier. We're going to build a lot of palm trees and such, kinda inspired by the area of like Memphis and Saqqara sort of aesthetics. And that would conclude this project, which yeah, it's gonna take a while, but we'll see how it goes. And another project that I want to finish by episode 100 is our castle, like the castle, not any castle, the castle, the very big castle that we have been working on. And these two projects would be nice to finish. And I think episode 100, what we're gonna do is we're gonna start fresh. Still in this world, because I don't want to start a new world, but we're going to go to a new area that we haven't been to before, and we're gonna leave all our things behind, and start from the beginning. And when we feel ready, we'll go back and turn here. Kinda like we did with the nether only survival. Okay. The nether only survival area. Okay. Why is there a hole there? I don't know. Can we steal a... Yes, okay. Okay, that's it. Oh, it's too deep. We need a second block. Let's steal this one. No, I won't. Oh my god. This is a catastrophe. What am I doing? That is a question I ask myself a lot. Okay, let's see. What block would be nice to take? Yes, okay, we need one more. This one. Yes, okay. Okay, that's one, and fixed. Okay. Why did I skip these three and go straight for the corner? I don't know. Wait. Right, we're gonna start fresh in a new biome, a mega taiga, and we're going to build, I mean, if I don't change my mind until then, we're going to build a Viking-inspired area. And I'm really excited. And yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I'm thinking we're gonna build the first village, town, whatever you want to call it, using only stone tools like is tradition. First project, when you start a new world. Well, in this case, it's not a world, just starting a new. Is to build the first project using stone tools. Otherwise, it's like cheating. Like, no, not cheating, but getting the good tools will feel so much sweeter if we actually have to use the bad tools for a while. And that's what we're gonna do. And I am very interested in the Viking age. I am Swedish, so yes, and I have many books in my library, as I like to call it, which is also called a bookshelf. But yes, plenty of books, and I have read a lot about Viking architecture over the years, so it will be exciting. Another problem with this area where we are Egyptian spider area. I forgot the last one. Yes. Is how do we merge it with the surrounding biomes? Because when I started this project, I did not expect it to become this big, and now we are encroaching on various biomes. Most of them are not a big problem. Like the forest here, we can merge it by having a lot of like palm trees and other trees here, so we could take away all the birches from like nearby and have more like palm trees and stuff spread in. But the main problem is the snow, and I don't think we can get rid of that. I think like this is where the snow starts, right? This level. I don't think there's anything we can do about that, unfortunately. So we're just gonna have to live with that. It's a snow-capped mountain next to this area. And that is, yeah, I don't think we can do much about that. And on the other sides, there's not too much problematic stuff. This mountain is gonna be removed as well, because it's a bit of an eyesore and it would look way nicer with it gone, so all of this is going away. And then we only have the dark forest left, and we'll do the same as with the normal forest and just try to blend it a bit with some palm trees and such. And hopefully it will turn out to looking good. We will see. I decided to extend our hogging farm further with an enchanting setup. So we have our enchanting station, we have some storage, anvils, and here we keep our enchanted books. So I put the decent ones there and then the rest here. I built a new machine. This one will fill up water bottles or empty bottles and make them into water bottles. There we go. It says here max input 2 stacks and 54 items, because that is the amount of space in 3 double chests plus 4 hoppers. And so that you have to do that like at a time, you can't do more than that at once. But you can of course do that, take the things and then do it again. I have finally finished the main wall. I haven't finished this little small wall that will go on the outside, but we'll do that in the next episode, because I've already spent like 60 plus hours on this wall and I'm kinda tired of it. And if we're ever gonna get this video done, we should probably end it here. As you can see, it goes all the way around. And we'll finish the small wall in the next episode, and we're also going to mine this massive pile of ore next episode. So I'll see you then. Bye.